stupidity of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry truly knows no bounds, because obviously they feel that they can ride on a crest of a wave, given the fact that, as we all know, they have their own narrative. They often speak about how nasty and cruel and intrusive the press is, but when they're ready, of course, to let the world know via, say, People magazine about the recent christening of their daughter, Lily Diana, you know. But yet, apparently, according to Meghan, she didn't want people to be able to exploit her children. Why should she put them up as a trophy for others to look at? That was part of the reason why she decided to quit the British monarchy, because she felt the school run would be, well, you know, surrounded by 40 paparazzi. As we saw with pictures recently of her leaving to go for a girly lunch with a friend, there was only one paparazzi showing in the lens flare of her black glasses. Just the one paparazzi. Who tipped off them? But what's interesting now is, as both Harry and Meghan battle for their IPP status over here in the United Kingdom, as they take His Majesty's government and, of course, the British Metropolitan Police through the High Court, they may have, in fact, scuppered their own chances by simply doing this, and they've only themselves to blame. As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning. Nice to see you. I hope you're keeping well. I wanted to share this with you, as I often do on the show, because it's good to share other things, isn't it? To get people's mindset thinking, you know. Now, I was looking back, and can you believe that, it's 50 years since the death of the royal favourite, Sir Noel Coward. Now, Noel Coward, you know, was not just a brilliant, talented writer, lyricist, performer, but he was also known for this. Oh, yes, that's right. The cigarette holder, so that even when he went to be knighted at Buckingham Palace, he was seen puffing away on his cigarette holder and meeting the press outside Buckingham Palace. True style, some might say. But apparently in this 21st century age, the cigarette holder is going out of fashion. And I wanted to know whether you still think it's a glamorous attachment. Even if you don't smoke, it could be a prop, couldn't it? Of course, it really came into fashion in the late 1800s, and more so in the wild days of the 1920s and 30s, where people didn't want to get nicotine stain on their hands. But is it now past its sell-by date? Do you still like to see people with that? Did you think Sir Noel Coward was in fact incredibly dapper? He was the late Queen Mother's favourite, and if you want to see a beautiful statue, it remains inside the foyer of the Theatre Royal, Drury Lane, which is owned by Lord Andrew Lloyd Webber. Back as ever, though, to your breaking roll story of the day. We have to talk about Harry and Meghan's problematic relationship, don't we, with the media, you know. They claim, of course, that they are intrusive, you know, they always want to snoop on them. Apparently they're sort of, you know, fodder for the paparazzi 24 hours a day. But as we saw in their recent docuseries, not necessarily true, simply because, as we saw, those pictures were fake that the director, Liz Garbus, used in that docuseries. In fact, they were lifted from a Harry Potter premiere. Now, as Harry and Meghan push forward with their quest to get IPP status, which basically means security around the world, funded by the British taxpayer, could they, of course, change their own direction by simply doing this? You see, the problem that they now have is that the legal evils over here in the United Kingdom would like to use this as a bit of evidence against the fact that Harry and Meghan said that their, shall we say, security, allegedly, was at best patchy upon their return for the Platinum Jubilee celebrations. But as we can see from this picture, Harry or Meghan were very keen to wind down the window to be seen by those adoring fans as they made their way back to Windsor in this car ride. So, as the legal eagles are pointing out, well, how security worried could you be doing something as a grave mistake like that? One of the royal protocol rules is simply this: you never wind down the window. You simply don't do it, for the fact that it could be a very tenuous moment. Any sniper along the way has a free range to get you at close range. But seemingly, of course, according to a good point, Harry and Meghan valued the, shall we say, idea of waving to fans far more than their own safety and their security. And this in itself could be very problematic now, allegedly moving forward for Harry and Meghan in their quest for IPP and court case security. As I say, the British courts over here are breaking down every single facet of Harry and Meghan's recent visits back here to the United Kingdom to see exactly how their security was, shall we say, difficult for them. Given the fact they were on the Windsor estate most of the time, There simply wasn't anything like that. So what exactly are Harry and Meghan looking for each time they come back to the United Kingdom? But more importantly, as I said at the start of this video, do they have themselves to blame if in fact they do lose this case on a very silly mistake they made possibly in the heat of the moment? Everything as ever within this case is simply up for grabs. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.